Baritone ukulele. Let's get started. Go to jollyrogerukulele.com and pick up the sheet music. Today is zipping right on by. And Jolly Roger Ukulele also has all of our schedule and all that stuff. So okay, so bass. Gonna do this weird thing. My laptop is way up high here. Paste and then shift, highlight, link, enter, edit, settings, open a new window, update, and update. All right. Now when I need to send a quick email while everybody's loading in here, let me make sure the link works properly, and then we'll hang out for a bit. We'll be starting in about 3 minutes, and we are playing. What are we playing today? Today we are playing Make a Better Bar Worksheet, Key of D Arpeggio, All Through the Night, Home on the Range, Simple Gifts, Vive la Compagnie, and Estudio by Torrega. So we have some really legit music that we're going to be playing. And then I'm going to make one. I'm going to be texting while people are loading in here. I need to find one person that I have been meaning to. I don't know if I will find her quickly or not. Okay, let's see. And kind of scroll past all these political things. Who was this? Nope. Let's see. Jody, yeesh, all these people I haven't sent back. Let's see. Hey, Maddie, just triple checking, comma, no ukulele today. It's the 5th Friday period. We are planning on doing first and third Fridays, right? Question mark, exclamation point. I will see you guys next Friday, period. All right, I mean, pretty sure I'm not supposed to be there today. You ever do that? You have your calendar all set up and you're like, I don't know if I got this right. Hey man, just triple checking. No ukulele today. It's the 5th Friday. We are planning on doing first and third Fridays, right? I will see you guys next. I will see you guys next Friday. Okay, so that should clear up any misconception that I'm supposed to be somewhere where I'm not, which I don't think I'm supposed to be there. Valerie and Cindy, you ready to rock? Let's do this. Well, people straggling, baritone players run a little late. Cindy, you logged in a lot of hours today here. Valerie logs in a lot of hours every day. Although Valerie was goofing around. Didn't you show up late to something? Was it today or yesterday, Valerie? Linda made it in. Sound is good. Good to hear. We have beautiful music to play today, so I'm excited. I want to get going on it. Hey, Terry. Let's grab your better bar worksheet. Get that done first, and then I don't know why I always turn this thing off. It's rechargeable, so I always feel like I have to save electricity. I don't know why. Grew up in a house. You remember batteries? Were batteries like a big deal in your house? Batteries were a big deal. Like, you need batteries. What do you need batteries for? Batteries are expensive. Batteries weren't expensive then either. I don't know why. Hey, Vic, welcome in. All right, we're going to play Make a Better Bar Worksheet first. Oh, your mom's fault. Okay. All right. Give me your number. I'll call her up and I'll talk to her about her priorities. Sometimes moms have a hard time hearing daughters, and like, Mom, I got to get to ukulele class. And they're like, well, I need you to help me with stuff. And you're like, but I have to get to ukulele. And they don't understand, right? But if the ukulele professor calls from the University of Fingerstyle Ukulele, I'll make it sound. When I want to sound important, I say, "Yeah, I'm the director of the Rocky Mountain Ukulele Orchestra," and I say ukulele kind of quiet. uh, and then people are like, "Oh, he's a director of an orchestra. Oh, I should probably listen to him." So I'll just call your mom and I'll tell her that she needs to stop making you late to ukulele class. Um, I don't think she'll listen to me either, right? She might. She might. I already like your mom a lot. I think she made a pretty nice kid. I think. Let's see. Michelina, welcome in. You guys ready? Let's do it. I don't need this ukulele anymore. Oh, set him back there. I don't need that one. I need this one. Whew. All right. Beautiful. First one from the top, bar everything all the way down to 12 and then all the way back, right? Word to the wise: when you decide you're going to get your next baritone, don't get one with all this goofy doodad stuff on here. I don't know why they do that. Thumb, index, middle, ring going down, and then ring, middle, index, thumb when you come back. 1, 2, ready, play. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Then turn your fingers around. Ring, middle, index, thumb. Ta-da. Really lovely. Very nice. All right, baritone. Let's do the your arpeggio, and we are doing which arpeggio are we doing? Key of D, D major arpeggio, and uh, remember, I will be reposting this for you guys. The measure numbers on yours are goofy. I forgot to fix those. That's the last two things I fix are measures and repeats, and I obviously forgot to fix the measures here. And then also that B natural minor, you'll see the natural sign on the B minors. You actually have to go in and turn off a function in the computer. I've had that off for years, but still every now and then it sneaks in. So the B natural minors are just B minors. Don't think there's anything special about them. All right, from the top, nice and slow, and steady pacing as you can. If you blow something, you blow something, get right back in. 1, 2, 3, 4. baritone still ringing? Okay. That string will ring forever, especially if you have a decent ukulele, right? It wants to keep doing its job. How do we do? How are we playing out there? How are we feeling about that piece of music? I think my hope is that every single day when you sit down to play a piece of music or when you get down to practice, you start with your base, make a better bar worksheet, just run, takes 60 seconds to play that. And then what, 2 minutes, two and a half, maybe 3 minutes to play something like this. Then you're warmed up, right? Your right hand's warmed up, your left hand's warmed up. You've got all these chords starting to come together. And I would suggest as a musician, you have a routine, right? And first thing is, hey, I'm going to get my etudes done. Then I'm going to play the hard stuff, and then I'm going to play the fun stuff, and then I'm going to go to lunch, right? And so that's what I think of when I'm thinking of a practice schedule. I give you guys way too much music, and you have to pick and choose. Obviously, I want you to work on the music of the week, but you're going to have 2 or 3 songs that you just love playing, and put those at the end of your practice session so that you can remind yourself why you're doing this. You know, it's supposed to be beautiful and fun as well, as well hard and complicated. Carolyn said you played it well. Very good, Carolyn. Exciting. Makes you want to practice that actually. Yeah. That's exactly what I just said, right? You got to practice a little bit, you know. Yeah, these arpeggios are very helpful for your right hand, and they're actually nice songs too. I actually think I did a just fine job writing them, and I think really there's a collection of 30 of them, and don't think there's any stinkers in the group. There's a couple that are better than others, and a couple that are worse than others, but I think every last one of those out of the book is nice, and the 3 that you have for this class, all 3 of them are legit. You know, they're really, really helpful for you in getting your right hand and your left hand to be making sense. So good. Cindy's up for him. That's awesome. Did better with the second time around on the first part. Still, Pinky's not cooperating. The other nice thing about doing repeats is, and I do this with my private students, if they're playing well and they go through and I don't see any major concerns, no, don't do the repeats. I say, don't worry about the repeats if they're playing well. If they're playing rough, I can usually ascertain, are they playing poorly because they didn't practice, or are they playing poorly because they're making mistakes? And so a lot of times, if things have been a little rough, I have them go ahead and do the repeats, play the thing a second time, and that way we can determine, hey, was it just goof ups and just making mistakes, which isn't a thing we worry about, versus hey, I don't really know what I'm supposed to do at this moment in this song. And then then by playing it through twice, it just sort of isolates, hey, both times through you messed up the A minor. Let's talk about A minor or whatever it happens to be. And I think so repeats have some value for you as a musician as well. Hey, I just blew it, right? Thank God we went through it the second time. It's able to clean up a lot of the stuff I goofed up before. And because we go through so much music around here, one, it's not a great idea. I can't stop myself from doing it. But because we're constantly churning through music, there'll be a lot of times where you played it earlier this week and you're like, well, I didn't have time to practice it right before class. And you'll be like, oh yeah, shoot, I forgot that was in there. It looks crazy when you hit it the first time. You do the repeat, you're like, that's the part where I have to do this weird thing. So yeah, so there's that. Let's see, second time through. Let's see. Yeah, all right. And let's see. Carolyn says, after a long thing. Oh, yeah, right? This is nice. Unfortunately, starting next week, we're moving the baritone class to morning, so you'll have to unwind in the morning, Carolyn. All right. There we go. Key of D arpeggio and your open bar. So now let's go play some music. Let's put our skills to work, okay? So if you will go grab All Through the Night, I will grab it as well, and we will play that All Through the Night baritone. All right. Remember, we had a typo in measure 12. The last chord in measure 12 should not have a 0 on the top. And so if you'll fix that one typo, everything else is fine. There's an unnecessary 3 in the first chord in measure 11. Just play 0, 0, 0, 3. I don't know how that other 3 snuck in there. Sometimes I get in a hurry, You ever been in a hurry? I did it once. Let's see. Let's see, Tanya, would you show the switch from D to B minor again? So you're hanging out in D, and to get to B minor, right? So you're thinking B minor. Now I hope I'm answering your question here, Tanya. I'm hanging out in D, B minor. My first thought is I got to get that bar on. Oh yeah, D, B minor, D. I'm giving you the ukulele B minor. D, drop your index finger and then add your B minor on. Is that what we're looking at? Because that is that's what I think we're talking about. This D, drop it down, put these two guys out. The other way you can do it, and this is for some people this is cool, and for some people it's not. If you're doing that D, well, here's a way to make it. You decide which is less awkward. D chord. You can't just put your pinky right there. Now you got B minor. Okay, and don't move your D chord at all. Just there, pinky. Okay, some people are cool with that. They're like, "Yep, that makes sense to me now. I just add my pinky and I have a B minor." I don't do that because I don't trust my pinky enough, despite the fact that I'm constantly harping on how important it is for you guys to do your pinky. I have the same exact challenges. I just don't trust the darn thing. So I will go from D, drop my index finger, and then I trade those fingers out to get to B minor. But yeah, and it is a bit awkward. I don't know I guess I don't know what else to say about it. But you can just add your pinky up there and you get the B minor, but then you're dealing with your pinky, right? And Linda from California and I are both, no, if I don't have to use my pinky, I'm not going to because it's full of arthritis and it hates me. And so it's going to try to ruin my day. And so D chord with the pinky is a B minor, or D chord, drop your index finger, trade out your fingers, and that's a B minor. Yeah, those are your two choices. I've talked about this before. This shape, the B minor shape, when I started ukulele, I spent 2 months easy just working on that one shape. There's this old song called Cocaine Bill and Morphine Sue, and if you have this shape and right above it the same exact shape, it's sort of a B suspended B7-ish. And so I would just play this song. Cocaine Bill and Morphine Sue were skipping down Fifth Avenue, singing, "Honey, have a on me, honey, have a on me." I just played that song. It has about 7 or 8 verses, and I just played it over and over and over, trying to get my fingers to be, to where they would cooperate. And now I'm finally fine with it, but in the beginning it was not happening, and so I worked on that a lot. So believe me, if you're fighting B minor, you're my people. All right, let's play all through the night. Remember, we play all the way down to the bottom and then come back. We're only going to play it twice through. We don't need to play it all 3 times. And skip 16 the second time through. And remember, we talked about having a plucking on the first part and strumming in the middle. So you decide. From the top, 1, 2, 3, 4. Pretty. Okay. Nice old-fashioned lullaby. Nothing like the old-fashioned songs. I love them. Again, what we talked about with that piece was, plucking for part of it, strumming for part of it, creating a different texture in different sections of songs. That's mostly why I like that song. And also, that's another song where you could pretty easily memorize it and end up with a pretty nice piece of music. Let's go play Home on the Range. Oops. E, F, G, H. Home on the Range. All right, guys, we're up to 3 pages worth of baritone music already. I have these little icon things, and we've already got a bunch. So this is the one area of my program where I've been a little lax at getting stuff done is in the baritone music. And because of this class, and because you guys keep showing up, I'm going to start pouring a lot of energy into this, and you're going to start getting lots and lots of sheet music coming at you over the next 6 months. And my intention is to have a book equal to the stuff I've done for ukulele, which of course I got a 10-year head start on most of that stuff. So just know you're going to have an avalanche of things to play, properly notated for your instrument, and not just sort of grabbing ukulele music and noodling around with it, right? What was the name of the chord with the B minor shape but not on the right strings? It's hard to talk about. So you got your B minor. So you use our circle of fifths, right? B, C, D, E. It's going to be an F. Okay. So normally on ukulele, E, F, G, A, B, right? That's his friend. On baritone, B, C, D, E, F. Okay. It's an F, but I'm not holding it down properly, right? That's a real F. What I'm doing is adding this note in, okay? And then I'm leaving this bottom open. So it's a F7 suspended is probably the best way to describe that sound. So you're busy playing your B minor, and then you go up to this suspended F7, and it will be when you write it out, it'll be F7 sus. Is what's going on there. I don't know. I've never sat down to figure out exactly what its official designation would be, but it's some form of F7 and F sharp 7. F sharp 7. Yeah, F sharp 7. Sorry. F sharp 7. So I'll sit down and figure that out with Cindy. I never really thought about overly. I'm just like, well, there's that suspended sound. So I think it's an F sharp suspended. F sharp 7 suspended, I think is what it is. Yeah, it's got you don't need to know that name. You need to know it goes 1, 2, 3. And that's what you need to know. Yeah, great question though. I'll figure it out. I'll figure out what the exact name is. Let's see. I'd like to see baritone parts for ukulele songs that do not replicate the uke notes, just as fifth down. How about some counterpoint, maybe Baroque music, or perhaps, dare I say it, a fugue? Oh, it's called. Send me an email, Cindy. It's called Cocaine Bill and Morphine Sue. I don't teach it anymore because it's about people committing suicide after being taken off of morphine and cocaine. And so, while it's a lovely song to learn a specific skill set, it has a very dire and dark message behind it. And so, I no longer hand it out because it's not a good thing. But yeah, send me an email, Cindy, and I'll actually sit down and do the baritone. I'll figure out what the exact name of it is. But in this Cocaine Bill and Morphine Sue, it was a song that was originally done in a major chord. Cocaine Bill and Cocaine Bill and Morphine Sue, we're skipping down Fifth Avenue. That's how it was originally done. I'm like, that's too sad to have that, so I'm gonna make it minor. Cocaine Bill and Morphine Sue, we're skipping down Fifth Avenue. think this got 6 verses on it. Basically, and this was a real thing that happened. Cocaine and morphine were legal up until a point, and then one day they decided, nope, it's not legal anymore. And of course, then all the addicts were out, and Cocaine Bill and Morphine Sue went all around New York looking for cocaine and morphine, and all the pharmacies said, no, we don't have it anymore. And then they killed themselves, and they jumped off a bridge. And that's the story that goes in the song. And it's so that's why I don't teach it anymore. I started to teach it just because of this thing, but I could come up with better, less controversial songs now for it. And if there's, I don't know, yeah, a little bit of a St. James. It's fascinating. You guys think about it. Cocaine and morphine were street legal back in the late 19th century, and people, of course, were hooked on it like crazy. And then they figured out, well, this isn't going well. We got to stop letting them have this. And of course, then all those people that were addicted had a terrible problem dealing with it. So yeah, Carolyn, we're going to get to all that stuff, right? The biggest challenge with baritone. Is there just not enough players of it, and so if you guys will continue to show up and continue to push me and promote these things, we can do all of that stuff on here. This instrument ironically is almost set up perfectly for lute music, and we usually retune this one string to play the lute tabs, but you have a lute is basically what you have in front of you, and with a whole lot of the nonsense taken out of it. So it's actually pretty well set up for the correct voicing for lute music. And so we can do some of that. In terms of ensemble music, we do lots of that from the orchestra here in town, but it's not. Once I teach you how to get along with ukulele players, then it's not that much more work to create a baritone piece for it, in the sense that the baritone will almost always be accompaniment, and so if you do your arpeggios, you will be able to do that without even having any additional instruction. You can just use ukulele music and play complicated arpeggios in the chord, and you will sound amazing. But what you're asking about is, hey, I want it specific to this instrument, and that's all on the plate. We've got lots of steps to jump through to get all of these pieces and parts together. And so, hang around. We'll make it happen. Yeah, we'll make it happen. Let's see. Yeah, St. James Infirmary. Yeah, and laudanum. I hadn't even thought about that. Yeah, heck yeah. I have a lute baritone ukulele with the lute body on it. That's fun. Yeah, so a lot of the lute stuff that's sort of floating around out there now these days. A lot of them are just playing a baritone ukulele, and you retune it a little bit. Let's play Home on the Range. From the top, go down to the bottom, come back, play back down to the bottom, skip 31 and 32 the second time through from the top. One, any way you want. 1, 2. Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. Okay, we got to go kind of fast. We got to get through the rest of these. Last one from level 1, book 1 is Simple Gifts. Let's go play Simple Gifts. Stay focused, guys. I talk too much. Simple Gifts. All right, remember we played down through this one. First shot, best shot. You go all the way straight from the top to the bottom. The only change that I have to the sheet music is at the end, I'm going to put on 5, 5, 5, 8. And that'll be your last chord. All right, we change keys now, so that's why your head's working on in the key of D, and then I just hit an F chord. It doesn't sound right, but once we get there, when we switch keys, it'll sound fine. Grab your C chord. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Nice. All right, beautiful. All right, we got to get through the next two pieces. Hopefully that played well for you. Oh, that's my favorite song right there. You just heard it. Let's go play Vive la Compagnie. Let's play that one first so that we end on a studio. Okay, that'll hopefully give you something to work on. All right. My only note on this is when you get to measure 9, you want to make sure your ring is on the 7 because you're going to be playing 8s with a bar right after that. So you want to make sure your ring is on the 7. That's my only note here. Let's see. Oh, Valerie, headed out. Okay, good. Big hugs to you. Have a great weekend. I'll see you in a couple weeks. Thank you very much. All right. Let's see. What about oud music? Oud is a baritone ukulele without frets. That's what it is. Arpeggios are what I'm doing now with duets with a tenor fret. Yeah, that's what you do a lot. You're going to do that a lot as a baritone player because your tenor has the higher voicing. So you typically will play the lead and you will be playing a whole lot of fancy chords underneath them. So Carolyn, it sounds like you got exactly what it makes sense to me that you're doing. Let's see, Valerie bounced. Okay, so let's get Vive la Compagnie in. Not a complicated chord structure, but beautiful chords, right? Hardest part on this one, making sure you got your A minor and your pinky under there. Out of context, it sounds weird, but you'll see it sounds beautiful. Okay, it's in 6/8, so we counted in 2, 1, 2, and nice and slow. 1, 2. last time through. Second ending. Put in all of the G chords. So there you go. Pretty little piece, right? It's meant to be more as a march, but I think on baritone you slow it down, turn it into a ballad. It's perfect. All right, so there's that. And those chords, all those chords are going to show up on book 2 and above, right? So those of you guys that are newer to the instrument or just newer to music, don't feel like that if that's a tough one, that makes sense, right? But all of the stuff in this song is going to continue to show up and show up and show up. So this is actually a really good one to get all of your more begin, that step between the basic chord set and the next level chord set. This is a perfect piece of music for that. It's definitely got that next level feeling to it. And all right, so then we're going to wrap up today with Estudio by Tarek. Okay. And Tanya and I were talking one time that back when she was in college, a lot of people had baritone ukuleles, and of course, you played them a certain way, and then now here you show up, and now we're playing it as if it's the 17th century, and so hopefully that this is giving you either inspiration to dig into this music stuff a little bit higher level, or else it's also clarifying, is this the way I really want to play? If you're a singer, man, this may be more work than is necessary. If you don't sing, or you really want the ukulele to do your singing for you, then this is exactly the right place. And so Estudio by Tarek is one of those pieces where it's a high level piece. It's sort of if you were in classical guitar, you sort of start with this basic set of material, and then you have the next level of material, and that's where this stuff comes from. And then of course there's the upper level stuff that's pretty darn hard to play. And then in classical guitar we have a fourth level that's like stuff that sounds terrible and that's what everybody wants to play. So all the official, like legit super duper guitarists, they want to play stuff that sounds terrible. I don't know why. It's weird. Remember, this is just an arpeggio, guys. Ring, middle, index, thumb, middle, index, thumb, middle, index, thumb. And I will play it at a certain speed, but you don't have to play it at that speed when you're working on your own. You can slow it down as much as necessary or speed it up as necessary. Remember, we're going to play down through measure 8, then we'll go back to the beginning, and then we will play all the way down to the ending, 16, and go back to measure 9, and then we'll come down one last time to play 9 through 16. And remember, the last time through, find your 12, put some harmonics on it, just like that. Okay. Very lightly touching all of the strings on the 12th fret, in front of the 12th fret. Okay. And then, of course, measure 3, you're going to have to do pinky, ring, index, leaving your middle available to go get the 3 on there. That's the one skill set that's going to be pretty challenging. Okay. Nice and slow. 1, 2, 3. That's a lot. That should send you off on your weekend with like oh, I need to work on that. Okay. It's a beautiful piece. That's world class piece of music. So keep on that one. That's been played for centuries now. How many centuries? When was it written? Late 1800s. Well, maybe a century and a half. If we got Drega's a little later. There we go. So, a couple reminders. I will not be here next week. I'm taking the week off, but I will be posting sheet music. We will start that your Christmas adventures on the baritone. So I'll be posting some of that stuff, so be sneaking in each. Just keep this time slot open. Come sit down, play baritone, and come and pick up the sheet music as the week goes along. And then I will see you guys the Monday following, and we'll pick up where we're at. We're going to finish. We're all but at the end of the introduction to baritone, and at that point, you get to the point where you're like, okay, I get how to play this. I don't need to do those songs anymore. Or as I tell people all the time, hey, keep going back to these easier pieces because that's where the skill set is. And if you can play the easy pieces without really thinking about it, then you will have the skill set for the more advanced level pieces. In guitar, I spend all of my time working in level, book 2, which is the very bottom line skills, trying to just get my fluency up to speed and these shapes and attack strategies that we have to have, those come from the easier songs, so that when you get to the harder songs, you already have those things nailed down. So anyway, have a wonderful break. I will see you in a week, and spread the baritone love. People need to know what you're doing. That following week, we will move this class from this late afternoon time slot to the 10 a.m. time slot. Right now my schedule is just driving me bananas, and I'm just in a panic all day long every day, and I don't want that. So I'm going to move my afternoon classes up to earlier in the morning. For some of you that'll be good. For some of you it's a bummer. But obviously the recordings are always there if you can't make the live session. So hopefully that's helpful, and I'm glad you guys are all here, and have a good week without it. So he's like, enjoy being away from us. I'd never enjoy being away from you, but I do have. You should see the rest of this room. It looks it does not look like an interior designer place candles around. Let's put it that way. Thanks, Cindy. Tanya, you have a great week too. Thanks, Vic. All right, off to guitar. I'll see all of you guys in a little next week. Not next week, the week after, Monday of the week after, in the 10 a.m. time slot. That's Mountain Standard Time, and of course we have the time change coming in. So I don't know, figure it out, and I will see all of you then. Have a great weekend.